Thank you, Derek, for joining us today.
No
Everyone,
problem.
this is Derek Bailey from the Right Move Placement Agency. He is the owner, and we are so thankful to have him here today and to take out some time of your busy day. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. Look, excited to be here with you.
The main reason I wanted to have you here today is just to talk a little bit about placement and what that is. So many people don't know what placement is until they are in the middle of trying to figure out what to do with their mom or dad or a loved one they've been caring for, and they just can't care for them anymore at home.
I didn't know what placement was until I started the business about 6 years ago in hospice. So, but senior placement is, we're a company, we're agents that come alongside families to help navigate that stressful time in life. So you have a loved one that's in the hospital, or they have a change in condition or a fall or something, and now you're hit with mom and dad's not safe to stay at home. What do we do? And obviously everyone turns to the internet first and starts to look for things, but we are a placement agent that would come alongside the family, talk to them about what the options for senior living are, what they look like, help narrow it down to a small list of a few options that we know fit budget, care needs, location needs, lifestyle needs, and help direct them along that path, help make an informed decision. That's the biggest goal, is to help inform them to make the best decision for their family. So they can find us online, rightmoveresource.com. Most of our referrals come from hospitals, physicians, other senior care professionals, and obviously all the families we've helped for over the years. We've helped thousands of families so far in 6 years. We're in-person people, that's just who we are. Obviously with COVID in the last year, a lot of that went online for a little while, or via phone call or video conferencing, but we're back to doing in-person visits as long as the family's comfortable with it, and when we protect them and protect ourselves. But we are in person, want to help them walk through the process.
Well, that helps too, because not all places, assisted livings, personal care homes, what have you, they're not all created the same, just as all the people that you help aren't created the same. So once you meet somebody in person and you hear their wishes, then that will allow you, since you know the community so well already, then you can make a good match.
Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of being local. Being local is important. We visit all these communities. We do not recommend a community we've not been in ourselves. We want to set foot in there. We want to meet the people, meet the staff. We want to understand who they are and what type of resident they specialize in. That way, when we meet with families, we can match them up with communities that we know fit and that we've been to. Definitely.
Awesome. So once the family finds you, makes an appointment, and they find the place that they feel the most at peace with, meaning an assisted living or personal care home, who pays for that, and how do you get paid?
So we are paid by the end result. So the communities themselves contract with companies like us to bring them referrals, essentially. So that's how we're able to offer a free resource for families. The families don't owe us a dime. Everything we do is for them. But at the end of the day, once we have a family move in successfully, and after about 30 days, the community will reimburse us a referral fee, pretty much. So kind of like apartment finders fees, things like that, but just based on senior living, senior care.
So the families do not have to pay for anything.
No.
So where you place them is who pays for you. So that's
and what makes us a little bit different is we try to contract with everybody, absolutely every community we possibly can, just so our families have every option available. But from day one, I have said that we will place someone into a community even if we don't get paid. So if there's a community that we know fits exactly what the family needs, but they aren't on board yet with contracting with companies like us, that's fine. We're going to do what's right for the family. It'll come back around someday. We'll get paid from a friend that moves in somewhere else. But the contracts are how we get paid, but by all means, we're going to open up to every option possible.
And that's good, and that's why we work so well together, because we have that same philosophy. It's just doing what's right for the family. And you guys have done what's right so many times, hence your name. But then also, tell me about this great news you've shared with me, the NPRA, National Placement and Referral Alliance, and what your role is in it as a company, and then why do we even need this?
So the placement industry as a whole, it's not new. It's been around, a good 15, 20 years, growing industry, but there's not kind of a central agency to try to help manage that growth and make sure we're all doing the same thing. Like I said, we've been doing this about 6 years, and about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I got a call from one of the guys with the NPRA, one of the head guys, said that they've opened chapters in other cities, and they were looking at starting something in Atlanta. They started calling a lot of the communities around to see who communities like to work with and who did things the right way, and our name just kept coming back up. My staff does a phenomenal job when they meet with families and taking the communities, so we were so gracious to accept, to hear that the communities think a lot of us. And so I met with the NPRA first, and we decided to launch a chapter here in Atlanta. We will be spearheading the operation here, the chapter here in Atlanta. The NPRA kind of has several goals, but I'll talk about a couple of them real quick, briefly. The big thing is family rights. We want to make sure that families have the right to choose who represents them. So there are a lot of online lead generators that kind of do placement like us, that once you go online and kind of give them your information, you're locked in with that company. Right. Even if they never meet you face to face, even if they never go on a tour with you like we do, even if they never do much more than just collect your information and share it to all the communities, that company is still locked in to receive the reimbursement at the end of the day. So what they're trying to do is allow the families to choose who represents them when interacting with communities. So family choice is one of the big things. Another thing that they're trying to focus on is just best practices. So what should a placement agent do? How should we behave? And again, the end goal is to make sure we're taking care of the client, making sure their needs are met first rather than us. It is a growing field. There's a lot of people getting in, and so we just want to bring in just some consistency and some professionalism. And I think the Atlanta market's a great market that is growing a lot right now. And so we just want to bring that and be the voice behind that here in Atlanta.
Well, that's great. A lot of families I've heard, just being out and about, they really struggle when they think they're putting their information in a certain way online, and then all of a sudden they get a lot of phone calls, more than a lot of phone calls. Whereas with you guys are more, you sit down with them face to face, you hold their hand, and you don't take them to those places that are out of their budget. Or that they wouldn't feel comfortable in, whether it's too big or too small. So that's a really cool thing that you guys do.
So that first needs assessment is crucial. We want to understand who they are, what they're looking for, and then we adjust our offering, what we're pushing towards them based on what they need. So when we reach out to a community to say, hey, we've got another family that might be a good fit for you, we'll give them their name and kind of what's going on, but we won't share phone numbers, email addresses, anything like that, because again, it's a stressful time in life, and we don't want, and I love salespeople, I've been one, I am one still, but we know salespeople, they've got to call, they've got to try to lock that sale in, so we're trying to reduce the number of phone calls coming to the family during this stressful time. So what we do is we're that intermediate. We will say, we'll call the communities, set up the appointments, go with you on tours, and when the family's comfortable giving them their number and email address because they want to move forward, then we'll do that at that point in time.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for today.